I'm of a different opinion here. I think the CC is going to be very good to be able to counter the composition coming in from RRQ. And looking at the buffs towards Ruby, that really increases the spell vamp, right? Now it's not lifesteal anymore, it's spell vamp. I think it might sustain a little bit better, especially when they're going to go for the initiating plays. And you can see here, Miko. Oh, wait, what?
He's dead.
What?
He's dead.
Where did Chipui go?
He was just checking brushes. He wanted to get some information. Instantly punished for that. So a nice movement here, and as well as Smooth, the fact that he used his flicker to ensure that kill even better. So both battle spells down. 2-for-1 technical trade, but Smooth is just gonna dominate this lane of blue.
We have to talk about this current, I would say, pattern of the gold laners going in for lethal ignition, right? What's with that?
They want to win out these trades. They want to be able, and especially if you're Sasa, utilizing Nibiru, right? You just get a little bit. One auto attack is pretty much all that you need, and then you instantly proc it, right? That's the main idea. And now coming back to it, we do see a quantum charge actually coming in from Sin, so he understands that trading might be a little difficult, and he wants to do it from afar. So that's totally fine. Being able to reposition is a powerful tool as well.
And I find that very interesting, right? Because I think we talked about this backstage, right? With the fact that Melissa kind of got nerfed in her attack speed of her first skill, that it could be kind of leveled out with the choice of talents, right? When talent number 1, you go for Swift, an extra 10% attack speed, but that's not what they went for.
No, not at all. And I think it's totally fine with this, right? He is using Inspire, so he can't compensate. Stormy's going to take a bit of a trade here. Hits level 4 in time, but steals no ultimates. While Smooth, 1v2, no problem. He can do this all day, every day, unless Banana suspects this. Yep, he does suspect, if guesses that Stormy was in the brush, is able to get the initial final slash. I'm not seeing a movement here. Even the junglers are contesting each other. If Subway is able to secure this purple buff, that's going to be great for him. But no, it's going to be first 6. He's going to chase him back down. And now that they have this information, I think even for first 6, he's going to start moving into enemy territory rather than go to the turtle first.
Yeah, I agree with that, right? Because they actually utilized the retribution earlier on, so they don't have the ability to contest, but it looks like they still want to set up for it.
Yep, Subway's going to go. He's got the retribution, gets out of there. Despite the RWM, even Smooth committing to the split is going to walk away. That's what you want to see, but we don't see the follow-up just yet. First 6 on the opposite side of the map, knowing that there's just way too much heat on the bottom, is going to take every single neutral.
Yeah, trying to go for the contest on these, I would say, crease, but Cheapboy goes in.
And Cheapboy's going to sacrifice his life for it. Sasa able to weave an auto attack just in time, and even at Nibiru's passion to actually try and stall it out even further. They able to secure the kill, but at the cost of first 6's life. Good dodge, good attempt, but Stormy's quick rotation saves the day.
1-for-1 trade there for both of the teams. You can see that Team SMG is ahead in a little bit of economy, almost at 1,000 here. Subway going in for the aggressive play onto the neutral. Okay, actually is going to be able to take it away from first 6. So they go for a trade. Subway might be in trouble, though.
He has to use his ult here. Subway is waiting for them, gets the knock-up, and then dashes away. Smart decision by Subway. Had he just moved even further, that would give Subway an opportunity to get hit. But now, Sin, he takes so much damage from Bennett's Rage. A good initial cash from Miko, but that's just going to put him out of the lane.
Okay, so things are getting a little bit more spicy here. Oh, it actually nearly connected onto Xin. Luckily, he was still able to sidestep out of it for now. But in that gold lane, right? Xin at level 5, Sasa at level 6. So not the lane ability that I would expect coming in from the Melissa there in that 1v1.
Yeah, I definitely thought Melissa was going to get ahead a lot more. Great pull. Boy, now in some trouble. Has to use his Shun Po. Looking for the reset. Nope, finds nobody. Has no pressure whatsoever. But a War Axe purchase, as well as a Corrosive Side purchase from both Sin and First 6, respectively, is going to make them somewhat useful for this upcoming turtle fight.
But I love that, right? Because even if they want to go for these items, the fact that First 6 needs to think twice when it comes down to the engage because of the CC in the arsenal and the kit of Miko, it makes it a little bit more difficult. It's not as straightforward as it was when he was on the Ling in game number 1 because of the lack of, I would say, just lockdown, right? Coming in from Team SMG. And you can see it right now. Miko already going in for the dance around the neutral objective. And remember, Stormy has a real-world manipulation. With this being said, they're both going to set up.
I think they're going to walk away from this. Ling is just too behind, doesn't have that purple buff. Instead, is going to get that level lead, is going to immediately walk down towards the orange buff side with Smooth just to cover. First Six doesn't realize this. He assumes that it's already gone. If he notices the fruit that dropped out from the orange buff, I think that's more than enough information for him.
SMG still with the 500 gold lead here in the 5th minute of the game here. Stormy already looking for a position to be able to sniff out the positioning coming in from Chipoy. But coming back into the items, right? And this is what I wanted to know. Because usually Beatrix's scaling goes from the BOD and then she goes to Malefic Roar. But we don't really see it just yet. She is on the way still to BOD. But with that in mind, in that 1v1 with Melissa now kind of leading in terms of gold, nothing really has changed, no?
Nothing really has changed. And I think, overall, we're not expecting it to change by that much until we see the first towers start to fall. But I also noticed that, again, Molten Core not picked up by either one of these assassins. They're just straight away rushing into their core items rather than thinking about clear speed. In the meantime, Banana has that early rotation down in the middle of the map, and we noticed that Subway makes the play. Big catch on towards Seapoy's side. He should be fine with this as Sin tries to punish Miko, even using his Inspire to chunk him down to 20% of his HP. Team SMG just going to back off while the 1v1 down on the bottom side is going to continue to occur. Subway can only sustain this for so long.
I love it. I love it. I love the aggression coming in from both of these junglers, right? And it's interesting, right? The playstyle differences that we're seeing right now, but first in a 2v1.
If he's able to take this purple buff away, Subway is still able to secure it. He hasn't played a Tempest, but First Six fully stacked up with his War Axe. He's going to time out real soon. And now Subway just backs away, doesn't want to do any more. Smooth just giving information where First Six is while the rest of the team covers top side.
Ooh, and with that actually, wait, First Six needs to be careful here. No way, right? He should be fine. Smooth is so annoying. First Six can barely get his own buff. Oh my god, that's actually going to be a little bit of an advantage for Team SMG there, stalling First Six a little bit more. But what I wanted to say was the fact that Rex Regim Kane or RRQ was able to get that tower in the top side, they are kind of shifting the economy to their favor, but Team SMG strikes back. And then RRQ strike back with the Lord take once again. The question is, why aren't Team SMG going in for the... okay. Going in for the trades on these neutral objectives? Why are they handing it free to RRQ?
I think they know for a fact that Melissa is going to be a little bit more relevant on that top side of the map. But the EXP laners, they have to rotate so darn far. I think it's understandable for Team SMG to just let go of these neutrals. Because, again, look, I mean, First Six, as big as he is, Subway is evening out the goal pretty fast and now has an EXP lead. Because Smooth is just that annoying, making sure that First Six doesn't get to walk around for free.
Yeah, Smooth has just been a deterrent, like a thorn in the side of First Six, just the kryptonite, the bane. Okay, I'll just keep going in with these synonyms, right? But you get what I'm trying to say, right? And the interesting thing is, even if, let's say, Smooth wasn't that present, you still have to think about Miko on the Ruby. And that's why I was really excited to see this Ruby being picked up, especially after the patch that hit. RRQ now going to be able to rotate towards his bottom side, looking to get that tower on the bottom side, gets it, and it tries to... And it kind of pushes the lead a little bit into their favor. But look at this, Subway on the lane. Very, very versatile. Very mobile as well. As they're going once again in a 1v1.
It's not easy. It's an anime battle for sure. Subway's purposely letting First Six stack up and more importantly use his big abilities before he commits to anything, right? Both sides did use their retribution. So again, we're not expecting them to do too much. Just go back to farming while the rest of the team looking for the pick. They find the pick with the Bandit's Rage. Smooth, unfortunately, didn't flicker in time to stop them, but it doesn't matter. He is going for it. Melissa's getting to free hit. So many targets at once with Muddles. Miko slows it down to make sure that Seapoy can't go any further. And finally, we see that Sasa is able to get in on the fight. Stormy is trying his absolute best, already stealing the final slash, but I think he should be going down to the next Demon Mark, and there we go. Banana secures it, a one-for-one trade. Subway able to find one back, no problem, and that's going to be the 2-for-1 trade in favor of Team SMG.
Man, I was so excited for Smooth to make a play because I really wanted to say smooth, alama, right? But unfortunately, there wasn't that much of a big play, but the fact is Smooth was the I would say, the reciprocant of all that damage coming from RRQ. So when they wanted to kind of combo-wombo their damage into each other in that particular team fight, with Smooth just really being that aggressive back to the backline coming in from RRQ, it didn't seem like they could proc all their damage as well as they could in that team fight.
Smooth is just a damage sponge right now. Nobody really has the damage to deal with him. He hasn't died as well. He isn't losing EXP. First Six and Subway just can't stop going at each other's throats. Blade Tempest is a little early, but First Six, he made a mistake. Subway, there's potential for him to kill, but First Six, he's stacking back up. Phantom Execution dodge, and now with Thorn Rose missing entirely, Subway wins out the 1v1.
Subway won, First Six 0 here in the 10th minute of the game. Beautiful. That was actually quite entertaining to watch. But yeah, that actually pushes SMG's cause a lot further. The fact that they're on the lane who can actually win a 1v1 against the Lancelot, they are going to be able to control these side lanes a lot better than RRQ. As, look at that, Subway was already down, and then now he's back into the Lord.
They should be able to secure this no problem, even with Bandit's Rage. RW win in response, and now you can see that Sin gets aggressive with it, but Team SMG does not bite the bait. Unfortunately, Banana tried using the Final Slash to knock Subway off the wall as he was rotating, and therefore did not have any spells usable to get into the middle of that fight.
All right, let's take a look at the itemization right now, right? Because I'm actually quite curious to see, with a 2,000 gap in economy for Team SMG, what are things looking like right now? And this is quite interesting, like, because even if Team SMG holds at 2,000, look at the difference in the gold laners, right? Melissa's catching up a lot quicker. We finally see BOD and Malefic Roar being utilized, but with not much of defense coming in from RRQ, with the nerf on Malefic Roar, is it still worth it to build it that quickly in comparison to something like the Hunter Strike, for example?
I think Hunter Strike is going to give a little bit more value at this stage of game until we start seeing, you know, people like Smooth and people like Miko or even Sepoy really start stacking the armor items, right? We haven't done the exact math when the Hunter Strike is going to be less effective compared to Malefic Roar, but in the meantime, Subway once again a level up on First Six, looking for the 1v1. First Six unable to do anything, uses the Thorn Rose too early and dies to the Blade of Tempest while the Lord is pushing. Team SMG might be able to get multiple inhibitors off of this push. Xin, recognizing the threat at hand, is going to start clearing up the waves, and Team SMG, cool, calm, calculated, just let this be.
Gideon, that's 2-0! That's 2-0, and Miko gets another pick. That's a lot of damage onto Chipoy. He's forced to recall, but they are going to be able to defend a little bit longer. But man, the curse, right? I was like, you know, it's looking like Fursic in his glory days, but maybe it's just the power of the Ling, right? I hope the analysts break this down, because Ling hasn't been too good before the patch, right? We don't see it often. We see it as a very, I would say, situational pick. The fact that Ling was so vulnerable in the past patch and now suddenly it has this much of a impact in the game? Is it because of the emblem change? Like, what's going on?
I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with just how greedy he's building, right? I'm not seeing the Guardian's Helm being purchased, right? I do feel like he might spec into a Radiant Armor. It's a little tough to tell right now, but for the meantime, at least we know that he has that hybrid damage. He wants to build a good amount of damage, in a matter of fact. The fact that he's got Thunderbell as well as the Endless Battle stacks upon stacks.
But even then, he still deals less damage than Fursic. Yeah. Fursic number 2 on the leaderboard. So Fursic actually didn't really... Okay, well, I guess he did build damage, but wait a minute, Chipoy.
He's stuck in there. He can't get out in time with Sasa. 2 auto attacks is more than he needs as the backline gets attacked. Clay getting knocked off by the Blade Tempest, but a quick response to shut him down. Team SMG press the advantage onto Banana's side, who stalls out for time, but still, it is First Six who secures the kill and is the only one who gets to escape the onslaught.
That's a 4-for-2 trade, Gideon. That's a 4-for-2 trade. 4 members from the side of RRQ are down. They do still have a mid lane pushing here. Stormy going in very aggressive. Fursic the only one to defend this.
He's got the Phantom Execution, but Stormy might look to trade in return. He goes for it, dodges in time, and is able to secure the kill. Well played to Stormy. Whiffs the Phantom Execution, but still has more than enough damage to take him out. In the meantime, with at least a mid inhibitor fell.
That was too close. That was too close for comfort. Okay, Fursic didn't clear that last minion. Luckily, the tower was still able to clear that out, but if not, Team SMG could have ended that. I reckon with Sasa already going in for the Hunter Strike. Look how fast they're clearing the Lord!
So quick.
That's the Lord! Taken in from Team SMG for free.
Oof. Oof, that's rough. That's really, really rough to see. Just means that Sasan is in a phenomenal position, right? Level 15, 5 kills in the bag already, plenty of gold to work with. He is shredding right now.
Oh, I don't even know. Like, even he's winning these 1v1s against First Sick on the Lancelot. It's looking brutal. And to make things even worse for Subway, he picks up the BOD. So, glass cannon build, he should be picked off easily. But so far, Chipoy hasn't been having a really good game. He hasn't been able to actually pin down this Ling at all.
He's trying his best. This next Lord is going to fall relatively quick here. RRQ are finally starting to hit their item power spikes. 42k mark, finally. You can see that even Sin, 2-4 with 4 items. Wait, Smooth's taking way too much damage here. He's taking too much. And Sin, he doesn't respect the Malefic Roar, instantly pulling him out.
Okay, that's a 1-for-0 trade here for RRQ. Going to be able to defend for just a little bit longer. But that still does not shake the fact that Team SMG, they are still leading when it comes to the economy. Chipoy, once again, not having the best of times on the show. 0-4-2. Not much of an impact just yet because it feels like every time he wants to go in, it gets cancelled by Miko!
Oh, Stormy tries to make the play on towards Inside, who's able to get on out of there. Quickly tries to pop anything possible to stay alive. Ends up dying regardless as the Blade Tempest finishes off. Sasa flickers forward to take out everybody. He's got the Haas Claw switch with his fast hands. They notice the Banana still has a recall. The Miko chases him down. Final Slash comes out to slow it, but Sasa says no more. Lancelot could show up. He shows mid, and now he's like, okay, actually, wait, I might be able to catch up.
Okay, now it feels like RRQ are kind of disrespecting the damage coming out from Sasa, right? Because you can see once again, Joe goes in for an engage. He can't find the pick because it gets cancelled by Miko, and he doesn't have any defense items for that physical damage coming in from Sasa, who already has the BOD, Malefic Roar, Hunter Strike to top it all off. Now he goes in for the Haas Claws, which is actually very interesting, right? Due to the change coming in from Beatrix. We can actually let the analysts just talk about that later. But with that being said, Chipoy, he needs to catch up on these items.
Yeah.
I don't see how RRQ are supposed to go and initiate something with how things have been panning out. Banana? Has Banana been able to do anything? Does he have an impact in these team fights?
He does have an impact in these team fights. The hard part is the fact that Sasa has positioned himself afterwards, right? We've seen Stormy, conceal play, Smooth even flickering forward to get on top of Seapoy to take away the enabler, and they chunk him out now and break his immortality, leaving him in the middle of Nibiru's passion godlike achieve. Subway, almost dying in that 1v1, but you can see that Team SMG, they're just taking away your cornerstones. I can't initiate if you don't have the Way of the Dragon.
That's a problem.
Huge problem, matter
Yeah,
of fact.
yeah. So, like I mentioned, it doesn't seem like RQ can do anything right now, right? Because if we take a look at the items coming in from Chipway, okay, he's kind of dead, so I can't really see it. But he only has Dominance, Radiant, and then he built into the Immortal.
Oh!
That's it. That's
so
all he has.
He doesn't have a lot of armor to work with at all, in a matter of fact. And that's going to be a free take of the lore for the side of Team SMG.
5,000, 7,000 gold lead already here in the 18th minute. It feels like this is the revenge story by Team SMG. It looks like RRQ was doing the same thing from game number 1, and they're doing the same thing back, right? And the fact that they actually traded in terms of the heroes kind of identifies that, okay, you know, RQ, you won it because of the heroes you chose, man. Let's see how we do with the same heroes you utilized onto us. And this is how well we're doing. They have a Lord already marching down the mid lane. You can see the waves crashing there in the top side as well. And it doesn't look like First Sick can do anything with Smooth just being that much of a presence.
Gonna get in the middle of the fight. Subway, he tries to get on top of the back line, instantly getting hit by the final slash, but the RW keeps the rest of the wave clear! And Sasa once again punishing Sin for moving forward, finishing off this game so fast. Miko was able to catch the last 2 members. His First Sick tries his best to clear out that back line. Stolen final slash to send them both back to where they came from. Play, there's only so much this man can do by himself. That's GG. Well played for the side of Team SMG RRQ, brought to a game 3.
Yeah, they're still moving under gunfire here, so that's a 1-for-1. Back to a best of 1 in this best of 3.